Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera when we got Doug in the house, and we are on air. The sign's not plugged in, but we are on air. We have an issue today, and the issue today is the hood. We were doing the headlights and painting the floor the other day. I'm continuing on doing the inside the doors, getting that ready. But what I'm thinking is it's growing on, like it just keeps growing. Every time I go to paint something or I think I'm going to get ready, I want to do something else. We have this piece in here. I'm thinking that I want to paint that the same color as the car. That's what I'm thinking. But the hood is not fitting. It's rubbing on that side of the fender. All the fenders are fitting good, but this is what's going on. Yeah, let's put it down. I want to show you, just so you know, and we all know what's going on. When I put the hood down, if you come over,
you can literally watch.
Actually, we'll just stay there, sweetheart, if you want to. This side has got a great big, what can I say, 1/2-inch gap. Go to the other side, sweetheart, if you will, please. And we have, on this side, when the hood comes down, it's hitting that fender and sliding in. Well, that's not going to be very good. That's not going to be good at all, because as soon as I paint it, there's going to be something scraping up there. And I'm going around it right now at the present moment, trying to find all the places that might scrape and trying to take a little bit off. You can see that I'm sanding inside the fenders here. There's primer that builds on them things there. And on that side, the fender and the door was hitting at the top. When you come over this side, we'll take a look. I'm going to use Doug here in a minute. That's why I got him to come over.
Yeah, I've seen that too yesterday.
Yeah, Doug said that's not going to work. That's hitting. That's how much primer I sanded out of that on the edge of the door to open that up to make that work. And that's, you know,
wow,
that's quite a bit.
That's awesome.
So, Doug, if you'll give me a hand for a second, we're going to try to push this hood over if we can. I've got Doug here today. We're going to try to push this hood over.
I don't know if I feel strong today or not. It smells not everything though.
Just a sec. That door.
We'll slam you the door here.
No,
the hose.
It's got no, can't latch. That's all. Let's do it right quick. 1, 2, 3. Take a second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All we're trying to do is bend them hinges over, but they're thick. They're thick. Generally, you would be able to push that over, and it would take. Still rubbing on that. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Come over, sweetheart. You can see it. We're not even
past the fender and then slides itself back in.
Right, so that's going to be dealt with. So, what's going on here? I see they're bolted on here at the top. The hinge is bolted on here, down there. Not sure I want to mess with that. There looks to me like I haven't dealt with a hood on a 50. This is the first time. So as I'm going through this, I'm hoping that someone knows exactly what to do. And you're screaming at me right now. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm thinking what we're going to do. There was a comment come in and said to shim it. So what I'm thinking is that they meant I want to pull the hood this way. If I put shims in between this piece and the hood, it should pull this way, should it not?
Depends on how much plays in those hinges.
Well, right? I'm just saying, there's no other place to put the shims to bring it over this way. If I put the shims in between this one and the hood here, that means when I put the shim in there, it's going to pull the hood over this way. So we're going to take these bolts out, and that's what we're going to try to do. And I'm thinking there are 5/8 if Doug wants to run for them. What's that? Go for it.
Take a look at that hinge.
That bolt's in this construction here.
That's different right there, because that's bent. Right there in that corner.
See, I don't mind hitting things and bending things if I think it's going to work. But if I'm going to bend one side, don't I have to bend the other? I'm not sure.
Let's make her all wonky.
Well, all we can do is try. Did you grab a wrench also? Just to start with? Just to start. See. Maybe not. Doug, I'm not sure.
I'll keep one in my pocket.
that. Something just happened.
Something just happened. There it is.
Not going to take off, is it?
It wanted to.
It did, didn't it? Was it?
It did.
Now, just what I thought.
Little balancing act.
Oh, just don't let it come down on that, will you? Yeah. Don't let it come down on the hood or in the fender. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so it has that goes inside of the hinge of the hood. Now, if I take and put a shim on that, we'll have to put a shim on. Okay, that's right. That I won't lose that. All I was thinking, I didn't want to lose that shoulder going through this piece. So in all honesty, I need to put the washers on this side. That's not going to affect that whatsoever. All right, let's do that. You hold that there, will you, Doug, please?
I'll try. It doesn't take off on me.
Okay. Talk to the camera, Doug. You're what?
Got no stories to tell today, Chad Hills. No stories.
No stories today? Okay. What I'm just going to get some washers. That pulls the hood off. Just keep thinking about that, I guess. That pulls. And I'm just going to guess how many washers I want to put in there. I think I would at least put 3 in there, would I not? We had 2 sizes of that gap in there, did we not? Like double that for the gap, or just put 2 washers in? Let's try 3. Uh-oh. Can you? This is the stuff that can take hours. Hours.
Getting right body lines? You got that right.
Well, just making things fit.
Yeah.
Can take hours. Now, I'm going to buzz that back on. Got a hold of her, have you, Doug?
Sure.
Yeah. Kind of thinking, wondering something. No, I should be able to tighten that up. Seems to be good. Let's take the other one off. You're still on duty, right, Doug?
I'm here.
Microphone. I don't know if that's on there right or not, sweetheart. I'll put that on there first. I'm hoping this works. Can you pull it? And here we go. Get that hinged in there, right? I start doing that. Gotta get that sleeve, that bolt in. Oh, that thing followed on you?
Yes.
Just don't let it come down. You can put it back in if you want. Just have to make sure it. Come on, baby. Hold my tongue right here.
Let your tongue right, it'll go right in.
Yeah, there you go. Got it in there now. Not going anywhere. have to go too tight. Yeah. Cross your tongue, Doug.
I'll bite it and hum.
Bite
Like
it
my
and hum.
lovely mother used to always do. Bite her tongue and hum. So you know she's really mad.
Look at that now, would you?
You're not hitting anymore. That's a great song, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you very much to the person that suggested that. I probably would have not. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We want to bend it.
Yeah, I just thought about bending it. Just think about what to do there. And that got us where we need to go. Like, we have a big enough gap going on there. And that did it. I would not want to put another one in there. I'm thinking that we're right on the money.
Cool.
Are we hitting on the back part of it?
Doesn't look like it.
It doesn't fit good coming down that, or the sweetheart thing on there. It doesn't fit that good there. That's got nothing to do with us. That's got the shape of the hood and the body, and that's where it takes more time to do something like that. But
some close though, isn't it? Oh wow, it is quite close. Like right there when it comes down. He's hairline, man.
But it's better than it was before. Probably could do. Let's shut it down and then see. Wow, did that ever make that go back? Remember that yesterday, how that was so terrible? I think that I'm going to leave it. And the reason being is because it's that close. Fits nice at the bottom of the fender, fits nice at the bottom of the fender. That fits really good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And what I'll do is when it comes time to put this on here, we'll make sure that we sand all the primer off before maybe we paint it or come close to painting it. Or not all of it off, but get off as most as we can. I'm not sure what's going to happen with there's quite a bit of primer that would be built up there, so we'll make sure we sand that back like we did sand on the edges. And that way there it won't be building up and building up and building up and building up. Alrighty. That worked. Yes, very happy with that. And what's
Cool.
that?
Could you tighten that one? Or it's gonna be
Cool.
softer? Does that make a difference?
I'll do anything for you, sweetheart. See a wrench, Doug.
So everything I want now, I'll just go through you to get here. Jolene, you want to tell Chad?
That's pretty. I don't want to over tighten it. They're pretty tight. They're not going anywhere. I'm going to do this one on this side. You wouldn't think doing that would do that, but what it did is it took out the play and it shoved it all that way.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit. And it fits good there. It does good there. Awesome. Very happy with that. I thought that was going to be something else that I was going to have to work at. I could shove another maybe one more washer in there, but it's pretty close going. It's pretty good.
That's better than prying with 2x4, right?
It is. I didn't want to say anything. Let's
Good
go
thing
to the front
viewers
there
are
and
looking out for us.
take a look at what Doug's doing.
Awesome. Oh, crap.
We got doing the second coat. This time we're doing the trunk part, and he just got this part getting painted, and we're going to do another coat on the inside. What I like about the paint, direct to metal, I use that quite a bit on stuff like this because it says that's what it's made for. It's a flat black that's inside. I shouldn't say I don't like. I feel like if you're gonna do a car on the inside, do it with a flat black because it hides more. Like when that's in there and it's all flat like that, you really don't see much. With it shiny, you would see a lot of stuff. The frame, you notice more. But with the inside, if you flat black anything that's inside. It takes away your vision generally of what's going on, and that made that floor look really good. So we're just going with another coat of it, and I suggest flat black for the inside and satin black for the outside. That's what I suggest.
And that was only scraped with a putty knife. It wasn't sanded or nothing.
I did want it was sanded like good enough. It had a little rust on it and that sort of stuff. But let's come back here. This is where I'm at right now. I'm on the inside of the doors. Had to get that hood fixed. That makes me happy. And I'll know when I go to take that off. I'm not sure if I'm going to take that off now or when, but I'm going to take it off and get this top piece sanded so I can get it primed underneath the hood. Right now I'm inside the doors. That was weird, wasn't it? What did I do there? Oh, it must have been on top. Not sure what happened there, do you? Anyways, I'm inside the doors and trying to get some stuff looking a little bit better inside here. I had a few little pieces up in here that needed some love. And it's really good. Like I'm happy that I'm actually taking the time to sand that. This is 80 grit. Just sanding it away. Taking out any little tiny pecks. See if I got a little peck like that. I basically want to try to sand them and make everything look good and try to make it look like nothing's been fixed. If you see, like this sort of stuff is factory stuff where it's been welded together. I know that sort of stuff. I mean, like you have to get real. But if it's a pinhole or a little pocket in the primer or the filler, you generally should try to sand it and get it out. So I'm just taking 80 grit and trying to take out any imperfections. They're not big imperfections, but they're not making me happy to the point where I'm willing to prime it again. And this primer, when you sand it, then you get to see stuff, what you like and what you don't like.
I'm in the car. I'm not talking about that.
Put that on my fingers. You only want to leave it where it's necessary. Is everything fitting pretty good? Gonna prime this again. We primed the outside twice. We only primed inside the doors once. Obviously, I'm going to put primer up there if I squirt that again. So today or tomorrow, my goal is to get the inside of the door reprimed and underneath that hood part. Something like this, you could just, it's like Jolene said last night, we just paint the damn thing. I guess that's how everybody feels, but when you're in this position that I am, like generally, you got to have it to at least a certain standard of no pecks and no big scratches and all that sort of stuff. We are, I would consider this a daily, we're going to be doing a daily driver situation, but it's just going to look cooler than a normal daily driver, that's all. And the reason I think it's going to look cooler is because the roof is chopped and it's got a few custom mods done to it. No other reason. Had a pinhole there. Not worrying about if it's straight or if it's flat or not. I'm worried about if it's smooth and no scratches and no picks. That's what I'm concerned about. Nothing other than that. Because when the door is shut, you don't really get to see the inside of the door. Now, what has happened is I had a little low spot up inside here. A little low spot there where the filler is. I had a little low spot there where the filler is, and one right there. And I just wanted to make sure that they look good before I decided to cover it up with primer again. Had a little spot up in here, like this was quite rough up in here. If we recall, I'm thinking that this car was painted with, or I'm not sure, but trim clad, flat black. Try to sand it a few more of those little spots. You're going to be looking up in there. This is the factory bronze piece going across there. I did not do that. So let's face it, the little pinhole there was where we cut it and spliced it together and filled it. Got to make sure the pinhole's going. You see it right there, a little round spot there. Okay. This here wasn't not finished down here, so we gotta finish it. We don't got to. We could just paint the damn thing, but in all honesty, we're going to think, why didn't you finish that? And I'm going to think, well, yeah, why didn't I? This sort of stuff it's hard on the fingers, but if you go for it, it'll come off after a while. That's why I like using a little coarser grit. If I was going at that with a 220, I'd be a little longer, guarantee you. And what makes the difference between doing a really good job and an excellent job, I would say, is all in how well the car lines up, to how nicely everything is done, like underneath the hood, inside the doors, inside the trunk. You know, it all takes a matter. You know, it all takes time. But that makes the difference between things, I guess, is how far you've gone with it. On this one, I have to do the inside the doors because the inside the doors, oh, sorry, Spirit. The inside the doors, I'm going to grab some new paper if you don't mind. The inside the doors are not the color that we're going to be painting, obviously. We don't want flat black on the inside of the doors and have the outside of the car painted.
That's my little hole there.
Will you catch him making a funny face and then focus right up on him, will you?
What? Mr. Funny Faces again?
Ouch! Ouch!
Things you can't even see, Joe. Yeah.
Awesome.
Gonna make Travis happy.
I never wore this little headgear until Doug started wearing it, and then I tried it on and ripped my thumb back. Never wore this headgear until Doug started wearing it, and then I checked it out, and it's nice when you cannot see that well. Very nice. Get it focused on what I'm doing. I didn't guide coat the inside the doors, and I very well could have. I just didn't guide coat it because when I was sanding it with this headgear on, I could see where it wasn't feathered off that well. And I'm not looking for straightness in here. I'm looking for everything sanded and everything smooth. I'm not looking for how straight it is. That makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Because that's what I'm doing. Just trying to make it smooth. Smooth. All these seams up in here, I could have, left it, and then I could have come along with some seam sealer and put it in there, but the seam sealer, when you do them seams around there, the seam sealer still will shrink on you. As the stuff shrinks, believe it or not, the seam sealer does quite heavily actually, and then you get to see what's underneath of it anyway. So I'm thinking I put a little fill on it first, smoothing her up a little bit. You can't tell anything. Should be my best luck. Best luck. And this is half the work, chopping a car, is getting the inside looking half decent too, eh? Hard going, but gotta get it. Trying to smooth it off. I just put it in there with my finger. There also was a window or a weather stripping rubber up in there that left glue. It's hard to get off too. I did not put a piece, I could have, but I did not. It was double metal there. See how the lip goes straight across like that? Lip goes straight across like that. I could have put a little piece of metal in there and round it and made it look like that lip. But I've got two pieces. I got the inside piece, the outside piece, all welded together, got the same distance. I'll just seam seal that, no doubt in my mind. Then again, stress it again, not looking for how straight it is, just looking for how smooth it is. Got the hood fixed. Yay! Thought that was going to be an afternooner. Thought it was going to be. This all had to be worked down through here. Everything had to be worked to get this top of this door on, if you recall. So. Using that feather fill up the best I can. And what I mean using it up is when I put it on there, I put, I think, 3 coats of primer on the inside of the doors. I want to sand it, try to take out whatever I can, use that stuff up, for what it's for. And it's for filling and taking away bad spots. So that's what I use it for, sand it. And really find out what's going on. New hole there. Your fingers take beating doing this stuff. And if I want anything on this car better than it is now, basically all I have to do, not say all I have to do, basically what I have to do is I sand it all down, I prime it, and I do it again. And if you want it better than that, you prime it, and then you do it again to make sure it is where you want it to be. That's the end of it. And the fitment, if you want your car to fit really good, it means taking it apart and putting it back together many times so it fits good. Any car that's, you know, let's say actually Detroit just went on. Congratulations to King Dig and his team. What a fantastic car. What a fantastic car. But if you want to go there, that's called time. And, you know, they're saying they put 5 years in on that car, and I can believe them. Let's face it, you know how many times that car would be pulled apart and put back together to make sure everything is okay? It's like Jolene's car. When we put Jolene's car together, we chipped it when we put it on the frame stuff. Then we take it back off. We'll probably do something else. Okay, then we'll come back in and then we'll fix it and then we'll put it back together. We'll probably end up dinging it again somewhere else. But that sort of stuff, you cannot ding it up. It has to fit together the way it's supposed to fit together, and that's where it takes time. And you're doing every piece. Remember when we were at Pat's Restos, is it, in Australia? They had a car they were doing in there. It's the exact same thing as Detroit. The Detroit show, Riddler War, you know, it's a big deal. It's the best show. It's a big difference actually. Australia, they have to run their cars through a course. That's quite a big deal, to be honest with you, because you were actually making it just as good as Detroit, but you're also driving a course with it, and that's what Australia does. And when we were into Pat's Restos, he was doing a car in there for that show. I'm not sure exactly what the show was called. They had won it, but they were polishing the insides of the doors when I was there and polishing the inside of the trunk. And they had a guide coat for polishing the clear. They had a little, it was white I think it was, and they rubbed it on the painted car, and then they sanded it off with their 3000 and tried to get all that white off, and then they knew that it was ready to polish. But just amazing. And I think that was a 3 or 4 year build, was it not? Or more, like that was 3 or 4 or 5 year build that they had hidden in a little room, and people were in there working on it. It's hard to believe. Quite a responsibility for someone to work on something like that, because if anything happens, it's really devastating, I would say. At a certain point, you start polishing something, you're getting ready for a big show, and you're back in the paint room. I'm sure it happens a lot, but it'd be very high intense. And so you can imagine how many people sanded on that car of Ken Diggs. It's probably 5 years. There's lots of people, lots of hands going on that bad boy. Lots of work. For some reason, I'm not there right there. My present time in life, I'm not there to want to have something like that. I don't think I could spend the time, and I don't think it would make me happy when I was done. And probably the reason being is I've got so many different cars on my brain that I'd like to have or build that I actually find it funner to build something than to get it ready to paint. But this has to be done if I want the car to have paint on it. So I've primed it 3 times. I'm knocking it off with an 80 grit, trying to get the inside of the door feeling fairly decent, knocking off any bumps, checking out any pinholes with an 80 grit. Now they all have to be primed again. That's for sure. And I'm going to check out maybe a little more of the gap. So not bad. If you come take a look through here. we're not bad. Like, I mean, it's not absolutely perfect, but we're not bad. Coming around here, I mean, the fender's out just a little bit. Like, see this thing here? Like, if I close this door, and I got something that hits like that, I mean, let's face it, I'm not taking that fender anymore because that hood was hitting. But that fender, and I can't take it anymore anyways because the fender's hitting here. I'd have to bring the door out. Not willing to bring the door out and do that adjustment with the setup that's going on there. I don't think this door has ever been off. And the reason being is you can see where they got that sealer in behind there. See that, like a sealer in there? I'm thinking that door's never been off. That's the way it was. And the fender was not ever in any further because it can't, because of the A-pillar. But in all honesty, that's not a bad gap. I mean, we're close up here. I can sand some more off. This is pretty good going along here. I sanded some off here. There's a little spot down here. It was getting really close, so I took it off the edge of the door. I'm not going to be able to get in there. I'm going to sand a little bit of that off. Just sand away some product that makes it close, right? Because you have to remember, I still have to put paint on that, so that's going to build it up again. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, that worked out good. It's not bad. Like, if we take a look at this, like it's not bad, but it's not absolutely perfect because if it was perfect, it's by fluke because we weren't trying to make it perfect. But there's so many things that I see that you could go a step further. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm just going to make it. Now you can see on this top of the door here, I got a little bit going there. I got a little bit filler going there. There's a little edge going on there. Got that out of it. Just taking the body work out of it, I guess. Get a little piece going on there I fixed. You can see that right there? See a little chippy thing going on there? I should wipe something on that. Little chippy thing, little thing going on there. This can be sanded. See how this got a little bit going on there? You can sand that out a little bit better. A little bit further. Sure we can. Take that out of there. We can put something in that. On this side, I had some pinnies down here, like little spots that had pinnies in it, little pinhole there. And this don't look bad up here. You can see how that's a little bit, see that little, where it's not sanded, how it's got a little rough edge going on there. It probably could be dealt with, but how many times do you look up in the air, look up there and see that? But that's basically what you're going for. That's all factory looking stuff. We've got it looking pretty good. But that's basically what has to be done. Any chip that you see, any scratch that you see, it's going to be magnified with paint. So that little spot right there is going to be magnified with paint. So I'm going to take a little filler and put on that. That would be magnified with paint. Hardcore. And it's just the matter if I'm sitting in on the seat and I look out on the edge of my door and I see it, well, I probably won't like it. I was thinking, I probably should have got that. Look at this. See a little pinhole right there? Should get that. Put a little filler in that. That's the edge of the door, but I mean, put a little filler in that. And I don't know how good they had it, but it doesn't matter how good they had it. It's what we wanted. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of filler. I'm going to wipe that out of there. And I'll go back and check the other side. Also, we've got all of these moldings that are done that have to be gone over with some filler to make sure that it's all looking good. Just going to wipe a little bit on that pinhole there and call her a day. So we got quite a big job coming ahead of us. We got to clean the paint room up, tape this thing off. Headlights are looking good, eh? Huh? Headlights are looking good. Or I think they are. I think we can get the gaskets. Jolene was searching on, what's that place called? Amazon. I think we can get the gaskets for those. Got them tilted back nice. They're leaned back nice. They fit good. Old Jim's coming on the old Cavalier. He's welding her up, doing a fantastic job. It's good to see someone do it old school like that with the torch. Like, shows how talented you have to be. The MIG welder, in my opinion, took away, I don't want to say took away, but it made it easier for the average guy to put a little filler in there. Any little pinholes I've got to deal with. Now, I'm thinking on this stuff, I was just talking to Jolene earlier, on this stuff around the window, when we put the window in the car, I want chrome around that, and I want chrome around that. I just think it would look a lot nicer. And I probably would like some chrome around that rubber on that back window. That back window's not very good shape. It's not a very nice window. But I'm thinking the window, or not the window, the door edge chrome. You know how you can get that door edge stuff? You can slide on the edge of your door and you have chrome on it. I'm thinking I would slide a piece of that up all the way around on that. I'm hoping it would go up far enough that it would look good. I'm thinking it would anyways. But yeah, that's my idea with that. I'm hoping to do that. I'm going to go the other side. And there's going to probably be pinholes on the edge of this. When I pull the headlights off, there's probably going to be pinholes around there too, and I'm going to have to deal with it. Just going to take a look here. Sometimes you miss them, Nate. Sometimes. I'm thinking that we're fairly decent. Nope, doesn't matter if they're decent or not, it's hard. Let's go see what Doug's doing. Alright, now you can paint the roof up in the back. That's nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, back there, big window.
Cool. That'll just make it smell better too. It does. Like, I mean,
Yeah, she'll need some air fresheners when you get her dry.
I could still smell this paint yesterday after 5 o'clock when I come here. I could still smell that paint.
I was still high when I came in this morning.
Are you sure it was from the paint? Alrighty, that's what I'm doing right at the present moment. I think I've got that licked on that side, licked on that side. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'll probably end up cleaning some stuff out of here. And the reason I'm going to clean it out of here is I want to pull the car in, do the prime for the fan. Doug will probably end up finish painting that bad boy, moving a few things around, get the inside the doors primed, and then probably end up getting the hood off. We'll film some of that maybe, I'm not sure, but we want to get the hood off because I got to sand that up in there to prime that. I want to paint that without priming it, or paint it without priming it. We're getting closer. This has to have a prime to see what's going on to make them look nice. I want them chrome. So within the next, if I can get it primed today on the inside of the doors, which I'm hoping to, then tomorrow I can come in and sand and maybe get it ready. It'd be nice to let it set for a little bit. Usually this primer here, you want to let it set for at least a day, 24 hours, that's for sure, before you even touch it. The heat's on in here, it's pretty warm. So if I can get it primed on the inside today, I want to paint underneath the hood, this piece here, underneath the hood, inside the fenders, inside the doors, around the window. I'm not sure if I probably should have that window in before we paint it. Probably. And the reason being is because whatever. Inside the doors, underneath the hood, and around the trunk, and the wheel lips, and the fender skirts. Like all that stuff is going to be painted. I'm not sure when. Wow. It's quite a bit of stuff now I'm thinking about it. But that's where I'm at. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming back. I really appreciate it. I'm down to the nitty-gritty, waiting for the filler to dry on that side. Then it's basic cleanup and push cars out of the way and get some more primer on this bad boy. Thanks for coming back. I want everybody to do me a favor. Have a great day. When you come back tomorrow, we'll be here.